Alright guys, went back today with one of my go-to range target setups from Infinite Defense. This is a rubberized self-healing targeting system that on impact actually displaces the paint on top of the black rubber, indicating your hits, then self-seals afterwards, and also allows you to repaint over to just rinse and repeat. Keep shooting, keep painting. This is an absolutely awesome product. I have one of their original targets they sent out to the channel when they first were founded, and it's been holding up great for well over a year. Since then, they've sent me their new Generation 2 versions of the target a few months back, and they've had thousands of hits, and we're going to head down to the range, and I'm going to show you guys what they look like after actually being used and just left hanging in the sun all day. Spoiler alert, they're still working great. Now they've actually picked up some spots on the channel and sent me more targets to shoot because I've fallen in love with these, and we're going to talk about some of the benefits. Now, the cool thing about these is they are a self-healing rubber. So when you're shooting these targets, there's no minimum distance to shoot from. You can be point-blank shots, practicing your draws, and that's something that you cannot do with other targets. But be aware of your backstop because the bullets are going to go straight through this because it is a self-healing rubber. The other cool thing about this is the lifespan of something like this. Now, they say on paper that it's 110 rounds per square inch, and I can testify to that I've been shooting these for thousands of rounds, and there's almost no indication, which we'll take a look at in a second, of them being shot. They just self-heal incredibly well. These Generation 2 targets are 100% made in the USA, and I love the fact that they've added a few things like these cutout lines. These lines are actually molded into the target to indicate the A, B, and C zone, as well as headshots, and they have various sizes depending on what you want to do and how big you want your target to be. Even when you paint over these lines, they're still visible, and again, we will show you that when I head down to the range to take a look at some of the Generation 2 targets they sent me a few months back. The other cool thing about these targets is the fact that they just work out in almost every scenario round-wise. So there's no real round limitations or caliber limitations. These are going to self-heal up to 50 BMG. The one thing I do want to mention, though, is you don't really want to shoot hollow points or flat nose. The hollow points will kind of like cup out a piece of rubber. Now, I did shoot them with hollow points on one target specifically to see what would happen, and it's not the end of the world. It doesn't destroy your targets, but it's definitely going to shorten the lifespan in that area. But there are actually no caliber limitations up to 50 BMG, so it's going to just continue to self-heal, which is a cool thing, whereas other targets like steel, you're going to have caliber limitations or distance limitations that you're not going to have with rubberized targets. These guys also included a code 704 Tactical for 15% off, and they have a ton of different variations of kits to really set these up exactly how you want down at the range. So enough talking at the table. Let's head back down there and show you guys the updated version, or actually the update on the previous versions that were sent out to the channel. So now I wanted to update you guys on the current targets that I've had down at the range for thousands upon thousands of rounds. They're one of the most versatile and interesting targets I've ever utilized, and you can see right here after I've repainted this one yellow after, thousands of rounds, you cannot tell it has been a used target. I also love the fact that these indentions that are molded into the target themselves, no matter how many times you paint them, still show the different A, B, and C zones, as well as headshots, allowing you to accurately represent your hits and then repaint over. The other useful thing that I found with these targets is they also make a great backer. If you wanted to put up some targets right here where you wanted to do fine precision shots at a distance to sight in for groups, you can just staple right in and pull out, and it self-heals. So this also works as an amazing backer. You can see here all of those rounds, just the impact marks, and that's what this target looked like before I painted it. The other cool thing about these targets is these took a few hits from a shotgun blast and a few other bigger calibers, and they just self-heal incredibly well with no issues whatsoever. So I did want to show you a before kind of section of that target and how many times it's actually been hit. And that looked like this consistently across the board, and you can see how well these self-heal. Even when you move to the back of the target, I'm going to try to show you guys, there's almost no indication that these have been shot like thousands of times. I come out here to the range and you can see the actual damage to the steel being done because I shoot so close up. And I've realized that those ricochets and impacts can be a problem. So running these targets up close and hitting them over and over again has just been absolutely a game changer for my range. And if you're building a range or you're going out to the range to shoot, this is a great affordable way to get self-healing targets that also have these marks. Like, I really want to stress that. The ability to just draw, shoot, and see where you've hit, and then just repaint over the next day, day after day after day, is just a valuable resource to have that's going to save you money and time in the long run and make you a better shooter. But I did just want to come down here and update you guys on the performance of these targets. They are working out great, and I'm a huge fan. Again, all of that information, linking, and codes will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.